Hey, Coach Bo here with another Diamond Insight. This is for players to learn the game faster. Let's take a look at this play and see what we can learn, players. Center fielder, he did an excellent job of going and picking up that ball barehanded with confidence, with a firm grip, and getting that ball fired in to his middle infielders. Great job hustling there, getting to it, bare hand. Got it in really quick. This center fielder has a long way to go. He gets out there fast, but really where this play is made, the best part of this play right here and right here. Those two guys do an outstanding job on this play, the double cut. Now, this isn't a double cut like you might see in Little League where there are two cutoff people with three throws. This is just your traditional double cut. The trailing middle check that. With a trailing middle infielder. Check out the shortstop here, do an outstanding job, athletic, very athletic, moving his body to get this throw coming in from the center fielder and maintaining a position to be able to relay this throw quickly and accurately to home plate. Let's take a look. Just an outstanding job right there of moving, just an outstanding job. Reverse pivoting, backing up, getting into that throw. He didn't turn around and try to catch it on this side. He just reversed into that throw. And of course, that's a bullet, fire to strike right to home plate. You'll notice here the shortstop doesn't turn and look at home plate. He just throws the ball. I mean, he does turn his head, but he's not picking up home plate and trying to figure out where it's at. He knows where home plate is out on the field. He knows where it's at. So he's firing and throwing with just a subtle last-second glance at home plate to lock in his eyes on the target. And he definitely doesn't turn around to see if the runner's still going. He's assuming that runner's going, and I'm sure his defense, his teammates are letting him know. Sometimes you're not going to be able to catch the ball, players, with your shoulders turned perfectly to where you're throwing it. Sometimes you're going to have your back to the target. That's okay. Be athletic, and you can do it. Let's take a look at this combination here. This is a great combo. The second baseman is coming in, and the second baseman is in great position here for an overthrow or a ball that skips or short hops to shortstop and gets by him. He's there to make that play. I prefer this guy be a little further back than too close. The trailing middle infielder on a double cut should never be too close. If anything, be a little further away, because a lot of times those errant throws go here and here. They don't just go right over that first middle infielder's head. You will get the skippers that come through, but you have to have some range as this guy. I know in an ideal world, this trailing middle infielder is there to essentially just be the second option on this relay home. And that's the ultimate purpose of having him there. But he's also there to get those throws that get away so these other runners don't advance. This is an excellent job right here by this middle infield combo. Center fielder getting it in quick. I also want to point out this distance here. The distance here to here, that's a really good distance right there. And of course, it depends on the outfielder and it depends on the infielder. Now, this shortstop here, he's going to be a top pick in the draft coming up, so he can really chuck it. He's got a great arm, so he can be pretty far out there. This right here is 127 feet from home plate, 127 feet and some change. He's probably another 50 feet. This is a 180-foot throw right here. Middle infielders, this is a great example of the middle infielder not making that outfielder, especially your center fielders, who typically don't have the best arms in the outfield. They usually are the better athletes, the faster players, but typically they don't have the better arms, although some do. He's making sure he gets that ball thrown to him firmly and in the air. And then he's relying on his strong arm. He's a shortstop. Shortstops have strong arms. He's relying on his strong arm to get it the rest of the way. You never want to get short hop. You never want to be too close to the outfielder when you're the relay man, and you don't want to be too far. But if anything, you want to err on the side of being a little closer, especially if the outfielder doesn't have a rocket. Phenomenal. Are you practicing those types of throws? Are we practicing those types of throws? Or are we just catching it and doing this in our throwing routine? We should practice these throws where we have our back, especially middle infielders, where we have our back to our target, spin and throw. Now let's take a look at the catcher here. What I really like about this catcher, of course, it's a great throw, so he doesn't have to do too much on that part, on the receiving part, but I like his distance here. I like how he's a little bit in front of the plate. So he can't have somebody reach around. He's going out and taking it to the runner, closing that distance, but not too much. You don't want to get too far out here. Then the runner can hook slide or go around you because he's going to get to you sooner. This is a great distance right here. Just a couple feet out, gives him a little bit of play, a little bit of room to play with there. This is a really good setup and positioning right here. He's not blocking home plate, but he's sure as heck right where he needs to be. Great job by this catcher. Let's take a look at his tag. Great job going for the runner. The only thing you have to be careful of there as a catcher is going out low and having him jump over you, which is rare, but something to... Now, 3 things that I think could have been better here. Let's take a look at 3 things that I think could have been better. First, we're going to take a look at the pitcher here. Now, I don't know if this pitcher here is a psychic, because he was already pointing at the throw when the throw was halfway to the catcher. He was pointing at it and walking toward the dugout. He's the backup guy, right? He's backing up here. This isn't a sacrifice fly, which is a guy at third base. There's another runner to worry about, and he's walking off the field this way. I don't like this. He got away with it this time. But if this ball gets here, or worse, over here, he's got a ways to go. That guy from second's easily going to get to third base. It looks cool on video, but it's going to burn you if you do that too often. You'll see him walking off. Just something to keep in mind there. Now, first baseman is right over here. I'd like to see the first baseman right here covering at second or getting towards second. I'm not a big fan of him right here. This guy, he's got to know this guy's a stud right here. He knows how good that guy is. He's his teammate. Everybody knows how good he is, the shortstop, UCLA. He's pretty useless right here. He's pretty useless. You have this guy backing up the throw here, so he should just be trailing this guy. There's no reason for him to be here in the middle of the infield. Not if the second baseman's doing his job and ready for an overthrow or a bad throw. But by not being here, this guy then has a lot of play here. He can move off the base. So if the ball does kick away just a little bit from the catcher, he can easily take third base because he doesn't have to worry about anybody around him. This guy should have been right there. All right, so first baseman, you're looking to trail that runner more often than not, unless you truly need a little league double cut. Now, the last thing I want to take a look at here is the slide at home plate here. Let's take a look at this slide at home plate. He gets caught in between. I'm not going to get on his case too much here. This is tough. Probably could have gone with the hook slide there. That's a tough slide. He's kind of in between. I think you either going hook, right? You're going hook, or you're going hand slide, hand tag slide, or you're jumping. It's either way, you're either going hard past him or hard over him, and you're either reaching back to touch or you're jumping. I think that's really what you're going with here. The double knee slide was an accident, so I'm not going to give him too much grief right here. He was hustling and doing a good job, and there's not much you can do on that play. But just something to keep in mind as you're coming in. Runners should have no more than 2 slide options that they're going to go to as they see the play unfold, as they see the ball and the catcher coming together. All right, great job by the center fielder barehanding it, getting it in. Awesome job by the shortstop turning and chucking it. Great job by the second baseman being there on that backup double cut. First baseman, I think, could have been trailing the runner there. Pitcher should have stayed backing up. There was some awesome stuff to see here and some stuff to learn. All right, players, take this information out there and put it into play. This has been Coach Bo. You can see more at 8020baseball.com.